Well, in this video, I'll discuss the horseshoe theory. In politics is something, called the horseshoe theory. Sorry about that. I can't control that when that happens. I don't have the money to buy nice cameras and do this nicely. But anyways, there's something called horseshoe theory. It's not like a formal thing, obviously. But basically, as people get more and more extreme in their ideology, as they move further and further to the right, further to the left, basically they don't go this way as you would think. It's more like this way. Eventually, they become the same. They're basically the same. You got the extreme left, the extreme right, but they basically are authoritative. They are willing to use violence. They basically want total control. They want to suppress others, even with violence. I'll give you an example. We all know about Antifa. They use violence, not all of them, but many of them will use violence to silence people they disagree with. You'll have, liberals and conservatives, they're just speaking to each other, and they'll show up and attack. Someone like Ben Shapiro or somebody will be giving a speech, and you get these nut jobs that will attack. They do not know what these people who are speaking are talking about. They just know, hey, this person is not of our ideology, so let's attack them and prevent them from speaking. Let's make sure we deplatform them. Well, that's the thing, though. You think that is just them. Well, here's something. If you read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, I do recommend this book. But anyways, here's a paragraph from this book. These uniformed rowdies, not content to keep order at Nazi meetings, soon took to breaking up those of other parties. Antifa and these leftists, don't they do that? These are the brown shirts that they're talking about. Once in 1921, Hitler personally led his stormtroopers in an attack on a meeting which was to be addressed by Bavarian federalists by the name of Balderstadt, who received a beating. For this, Hitler was sentenced to 3 months in jail, one of which he served. This was his first experience in jail, and he emerged from it somewhat of a martyr and more popular than ever. It's all right, Hitler boasted to the police. We got what we wanted. Balderstadt did not speak. That's Antifa. They don't care. They don't want the other person to speak. You have people like Steve Shives and others. They want to deplatform anyone they disagree with. As Hitler had told an audience some months before, the National Socialist movement will in the future, ruthlessly prevent, if necessary, by force, all meetings or lectures that are likely to distract the minds of our fellow countrymen. And of course, if you read this book, you will learn that some of these Nazis did switch to communism. And of course, you learn from other sources too, vice versa happened. Now you would think, wait a minute, communists and Nazis are completely different. One, the Nazis are the extreme right. Yeah, they're the extreme right, not left like some people try to lie. They're extreme right. The communists are extreme left. It doesn't really take much from here for them just to jump over to the other side. They both basically have the same beliefs. It's just a different way of doing it. They both want complete control. They both hate democracy. Extreme right, extreme left, That's just how it is. Look at these people that support Trump, some of them. I'm not saying Trump himself, but look at some of the people that support him. It doesn't take much to jump from one to the other. Both of them, that's basically what the horseshoe theory is. They become pretty much the same. You cannot really tell the difference. Occupy Wall Street. You remember that? The same person that organized that wrote a book, which I will, of course, eventually do, a review, but that's going to be quite a bit of time for that. But anyways, you remember Occupy Wall Street? These were extremists. They didn't have to work. None of them really had to work, so they were able to do this. Not only did they leave the place a mess where taxpayers had to clean it, but there were certain, felonies committed. And we all know what those felonies were. You can look it up on Google. And then you had the other side, the Tea Party. At least they cleaned after themselves. But, they were just against Obama. But, they're not the greatest people either. But, again, please look up the horseshoe theory. And hopefully I gave you a good summary. Obviously, I'm not the greatest at doing it. You saw how my cell phone just fell and did that because I'm not. And as you know, you can consider me for president in 2020 or 2024 or whatever. Vote for me. I believe in science and, education. Of course, also arts, music, and physical education. And I prefer science over that. Anyone that makes, I want to say this now, anyone below the poverty line, I will do what I can to ensure free education. If you're below the poverty line, you get free education. Because we want everybody to get out. Also, this country, of course, wastes a lot of food. They just burn it and everything. They pay farmers to destroy a bunch of food. Instead of doing that, well, first, it'll be given to America's poor. And what's left will be given to, our friends south of the border. Of course, I will most likely continue most of Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration, except for the border wall. The dreamers, some of you might not like, some of you might. Anybody who, if you're part of that group, if you get a degree in a STEM field, business, and there'll be any of those type of fields and a few others, obviously we'll come up with then. Obviously, you're going to be granted your American citizenship. Also, if you can, well, say maybe 2 years in the military or something, But you'll have to earn it. You still have to earn it by being a STEM or something, and you have to be able to get a job in that field. Because we want to try to get as many people, minorities, and everybody into STEM. Of course, all job applications, college applications will no longer be asking you for your gender or your race and ethnicity. That's not going to be allowed on any type of job application. Because there'll be no discrimination based on gender, race, sexual orientation, religion, lack of religion, or any of that type of stuff. But the illegal immigrants, come on. Whether they're from Europe, south of the border, Asia, wherever, legal is illegal. Let's see what else. I've said it so much in my other videos, you can easily watch them, especially with education. I'm a firm believer in education and science. Of course, we will have to revamp the educational system because this educational system has been as it has been for more than 200 years. And we have technology now, that internet and stuff that a lot of these teachers can't even use. And of course, in order to be a teacher, you would need at least a minor in the subject you're teaching. Okay, that's going to have to be done because a lot of these teachers don't even have that level of knowledge of what they're teaching, and they will be required to at least have a minor, maths, biology, chemistry, physics, whatever. You need at least a minor on top of your educational degree, which means, of course, teachers will be making more money. Well, that'll be it for now. Bye.